And our fourth school here is Synapse. And so for Synapse, their main emphasis here, they have a big emphasis on social emotional learning. This is definitely a school that I would say focuses more on the social emotional learning integration than say like a giftedness curriculum. Synapse can be a good fit for a gifted student because they focus so much on social emotional learning. As we said, the two subjects kind of go hand in hand, but I just want to, just for information purposes, Synapse definitely probably weighs more importance to social emotional learning as opposed to say a integration of the giftedness curriculum. And then another key point is that they are project-based learning focused, especially for math. We'll get more into that in a minute. They're located in Menlo Park. Their teacher to student ratio is very low at 1 to 5, same with Nueva and Tessellations, and they have 282 students. The tuition breakdown for kindergarten, grades 1 through 4, and then 5 through 8 are down below. And then for their main grade entrance, it is kindergarten and grade 6. So that is some brief information on Synapse. And then for this next slide, we're going to talk more about their project-based learning. They also have a kind of an aspect called math circles, which is similar to Helios for the lower school. That's a 30-minute session once a week. But I will say, if you were to try to figure out the difference between Helios and Synapse's math circles, I would say that Synapse definitely tries to tackle more kind of niche specific math topics or unique math topics. They do have the more general ones like geometry, but they have more niche ones such as computational paper folding, mathematical art, sports statistics, strategy games, and as well as mathematical puzzles. And the reason why, obviously you'd wonder, why are they doing these more niche topics? The reason why is because they want to make sure that the students are getting interested in math from a young age, and that they are seeing math as more of like a hobby rather than like a chore or a class that they just have to take. And an example of this is, say your student is interested in basketball. Well, for their math circles activity, they could look at some sports statistics regarding basketball, whether that be the amount of points a player scored, or their assists, or their rebounds. I won't get too much into that, but that is just one example where they can utilize this math circle activity to have fun with math and kind of study and practice a topic that they're interested in, such as basketball, while at the same time they're learning. And then in addition, for math, for middle school, they do have a mathletics team that participates in the AMC 8 Math Olympiad and Math Counts competitions. And then for social emotional learning, this one is actually for the parents. So for Synapse, they definitely prioritize not only the social emotional learning of students, but also parents through their bi-monthly emotional intelligence sessions. Now you may ask, obviously, why would that be important? Shouldn't we just focus on the kids? Well, they do understand that for parents, especially more of the newer parents who may have kids who are in kindergarten, who the child is in kindergarten, parenting is definitely tough. There's a lot of speed bumps and rough waters that can happen with parenting. It's always an everlasting learning process, as all of you must know. And so it can definitely be stressful. So in order to learn and to strengthen their emotional intelligence and the SEL of the parents, they have these bi-monthly emotional intelligence sessions where parents can meet up and discuss their problems and learn from each other and create this community that values each other's emotions and definitely assists each other in navigating the waters that is parenting. So that is something where they definitely prioritize social emotional learning from all aspects, not just the students. But for this next slide here, we will talk more about the SEL focus for the students, because that is their key point. So Synapse definitely implements the same 6 seconds SEL curriculum as Helios. If you know about 6 seconds, definitely type a 1 in the chat, type a 2 if you don't, if you want. But 6 seconds is a California-based SEL curriculum or organization that works to kind of create a very well-renowned and very well-respected SEL curriculum that has definitely been shown to be very effective. Synapse implements this curriculum, same as Helios. And kind of this chart here to your right kind of talks about a little bit of a breakdown of this 6 seconds SEL curriculum. It's actually very in-depth, and it has these 5 key pillars here, which is self-awareness, social awareness, relationship skills, responsible decision-making, as well as self-management. And then they even break these 5 main key pillar points into these subcategories for each pillar. I won't obviously read all of them off because there's so many, but a couple of them could be such as emotional literacy, increasing empathy, as well as consequential thinking, and then so many others. So that is kind of an introduction on their curriculum that they try to help implement. And then in addition to that, they also have emotional intelligence assessments to personalize the SEL development of the child and set goals, because like I said, SEL is a gradual process. So in order to make sure that the child has the proper path that's personalized for them, they try to set a target and then kind of like a timeline for how they're going to meet these goals by each time, just to make sure that they're still on track and that the goals end up getting met and that it is successful. In addition, K through 6 students participate in self-science classes, which has SEL integration. And in addition to that, the middle school students take social innovation classes, which also have SEL integration. So that is some introduction on Synapse School's SEL Focus. But now we're going to get into the feedback from some parents who have had children attend Synapse. So this first quote here will say, if your kid is gifted, it can be a good fit. It's definitely better than some other private schools in some senses. There will be other gifted kids there, and the project-based learning will appeal to them. So as I said, this school is definitely more SEL focused than, say, gifted student curriculum focused, but it can be a good fit because of their strong SEL, and that there are other gifted students that attend that school, and that's where they can help build those relationships and practice those SEL skills. And then the second quote here says that they have weekly specialized classes for self-science, and they also organize classes and events for parents around SEL, and that was the main reason why they chose this school. So like we said, those EQ sessions for the parents, and then the more so personalized SEL curriculum development for the student was definitely a big hitting point for this parent. And then this last parent here says that the project-based learning platform for math, it may limit students' ability to get ahead and master topics that are above their grade level. Like we said, it is a little bit more harder for students to really get multiple levels ahead of their grade for subjects if it's project-based as opposed to more test-based, because there's less things to make note of and test upon, as opposed to, say, like we said, Harker or Basis's curriculum. And so this parent did feel that for the project-based learning, it was a little bit harder for her student to get ahead for math, as opposed to, say, like a Helios, where they do a little bit more accommodation for the class level mobility. So that's just a couple comments from parents regarding Synapse. But now let's move on into our final school here.